not sure which gaming microphone to get? Well, we're going to be comparing the differences between the best-selling FIFINE Ampligame AM8 microphone versus the Ampligame FIFINE AM8 PROT, which has an RGB boom arm that comes included. And to start up the comparison, because I know it's the number one question, let's compare the sound tests. This is the test audio of the FIFINE Ampligame AM8 microphone. Interstellar is the best movie of all time. Andrew Garfield is the best Peter Parker Spider-Man. This is the test of the FIFINE Ampligame AM8 Pro microphone. Interstellar is the best movie of all time. Andrew Garfield is the best Peter Parker Spider-Man. The AM8, which you heard first, has great sound quality, as you could obviously see. But the AM8 Pro T has a 24-bit sound quality. So it's going to give you just a little bit more than the AM8 would. The normal AM8 has the RGB button, it has a microphone volume knob button, as well as a headphone adjuster. And on the back, we also have a mute button that we could just turn on and off just by pressing, and it goes mute, and pressing again, and it's right back to normal. The AM8 Pro T does have a little bit more to offer in terms of interface. First of all, you can see that every time I talk, especially if I tilt it upwards towards my voice, you can see that it lights up every time it hears my audio. Normally, you would want to make sure that this is facing your voice because you don't want to be talking at it from the side. You always want to be talking at it when it is facing you. Now, we do have some other cool stuff on here, such as a volume knob that you can touch. It'll go in between a volume adjuster, a headphone adjuster, as well as a mix of the two, where you can figure out the best ratio to each. On the bottom of the AM8 microphone, you can see that we have an XLR port, we have a 3.5mm jack, as well as a USB-C cable, which goes directly into our PC over there that looks like a spaceship. Connectivity options on the AM8 Pro T has very similar. It has the XLR, it has a 3.5mm jack, and that USB-C, but there's something on here that is a little bit different, which is that RGB button, which on the AM8 is here at the top, but there is a little bit more customization options with this button. You can see here, press it, we can get red. Let's actually put this in some better lighting. So I've really had to turn down the saturation just so you guys can see this on camera, but right now it's going from some yellow to green. Right now it's on green. See here, you can go to blue, you can go to a yellow, green, and there's a whole bunch of other options in there as well. It's white. There's other options where if I were to talk or, for example, touch, that'll light up. And right now I'm tapping the top of the microphone and it would talk, because if I talk right here, right next to the microphone, you can hear me. So now for one of the coolest parts is this RGB boom arm, which comes included. It has its own cable, so you actually get two cables instead of just the one if you want to use both RGB for both microphones. But the RGB button is up here towards the end. You can press it, and it has a whole bunch of different color options of both static, there's breathing options, there's some other color effects like that. You can see here, it's kind of got some yellow that goes into the orange, and much more rainbow effects. You even have this cool one, which lights up as it gets towards the end. Now with the AM8, obviously it doesn't come with a boom arm, but if it did, it would more than likely just be a normal boom arm by itself, no RGB. One thing with the AM8 Pro T that I did not personally like is the fact that yes, while it is an RGB boom arm, it is not something I would personally want in my setup. Obviously, if you want more RGB in your setup, then that's a different story. But one gripe that I do have with the boom arm is that it's a whole nother cable that is included. You can see right here that you also have to connect to your PC. So if you want RGB on both your microphone and on your boom arm, that's two cables now instead of just one. And personally, I don't know about you, but I try and minimize how much cables I have anyways. So that's kind of just one extra cable that I'd rather not have in my setup personally. So one of the biggest differences actually between the AM8 and the AM8 Pro T is that the AM8 Pro T actually comes with software that will allow you to connect it to the new FIFINE Genie software, which you can download separately. Now that software will definitely give you a bunch more customization options, and it will definitely make it a much more personalized experience with this new upgraded model. But the cool part about both these microphones is that if you don't want to use the software, the microphones are literally just plug and play. Literally just to get it set up like this is right now, all I did was I connected this cable to my PC and it's already working, and I'm able to connect it and have the input set to whatever game, whatever software I want to use it on. Now keep in mind that all my testing done today was using the included USB-C cable on both the microphones. So if you want the highest quality sounding microphone, then you'll want to use the XLR connection that is on both of these microphones. Now another feature of this boom arm that is different from other boom arms is actually the fact that, obviously, while it is RGB, it's also the fact that it is a thickened boom arm, right? So because it has these RGBs, they do need to put a little bit more sturdiness to this boom arm. So when moving it around, or if you're moving it up and down, moving the microphone, or even just moving your desk, you're gonna have minimized noise with how sturdy this base is. One thing I did forget to mention is also that this mute button, you tap and it goes red. So you know it's muted, tap, and it's right back to hearing you talk. So between the two microphones of the AM8 and the AM8 PROT, here's who I would say each is best for. I'd say personally, if you want more RGB in your setup, then absolutely go for the AM8 PROT. It has more RGB functions on the microphone, as well as it has that included RGB boom arm. But there's also more, because if you're specifically looking to maximize your audio quality between game chat, as well as, maybe if it's music streaming or podcasting and things of that nature, and you don't care about the budget and you'd rather go for the highest end between the two, then absolutely also go for the AM8, because you can also turn off the RGB on the microphone and on the boom arm. So that 16-bit AM8 compared to the 24-bit on the AM8 PROT is definitely a smaller difference, but if you're really looking to maximize how much you get out of each microphone, then definitely go for the PROT, right? But if you're an average, say, gamer, or you're just looking to kind of get the bare minimum and really have a high quality sound while doing the bare minimum, then the AM8 is probably going to be all that you need. Also, it'll save you a cable because you don't have that extra cable coming out for the boom arm, and it's just a much more simple interface. You got the mute button, you got your simple controls on the front, you got your connections on the back, and you have the little included bass. No other worries to it. Whereas obviously you get a boom arm with the PROT, you get some more quality options, and it's just going to be a higher quality mic because obviously it does have that 24-bit, it has the 3-in-1 knob where you can adjust things, and honestly it's just a higher quality mic. So I would say if you have the money to spend, definitely go for the PROT. But if you're looking to just get your feet warm and get into the realm of new and high quality microphones, then the AM8 is probably going to be all that you need.